In the history of World War II, Italy has been consistently portrayed as a substandard military power, even as a joke. If you believe that, you are continuing to spout Allied propaganda of the period. The Italians were more than capable of fighting bravely and effectively. Their problem was not a lack of martial talent, it was rather their substandard, often antiquated equipment, and the often low morale of rank-and-file soldiers who couldn't fathom why Mussolini had thrust them into a world war completely unprepared and as an ally of Nazi Germany. It's easy to forget that 25 years before, during World War I, Italy had proudly fought as an allied nation alongside Britain and France. But when push came to shove, the Royal Italian Army did manage to inflict several defeats on Allied forces, and on many occasions made assaults that bordered on the suicidal. None more so than the subject of this video, the Italian tank assault during the Battle of Gela, during the Allied invasion of Sicily on the 10th of July 1943, when with inferior equipment, brave Italian troops took on elite US soldiers and gave them a real run for their money. The Allied return to the continent of Europe began on the island of Sicily in July 1943, the stepping stone to Italy, and a planned advance all the way to Austria and Germany. Originally a British plan, the Americans were persuaded of its merits after the German and Italian forces in North Africa had been defeated. 2 Allied task forces would land on Sicily in an operation codenamed Husky, 1 British and 1 American. The Eastern Task Force, commanded by General Sir Bernard Montgomery, consisted of his famed 8th Army that had defeated Erwin Rommel in the Western Desert, and also included a Canadian infantry division and airborne troops. The Western Task Force was under the flamboyant General George S. Patton and consisted of the US 7th Army. In overall command of the operation was British General Sir Harold Alexander, who was answerable to the Supreme Allied Commander for North Africa and the Mediterranean, General Dwight D. Eisenhower. In total, the Allied force initially numbered 160,000 men and 600 tanks, but this would later be massively reinforced to almost 500,000 men. The 2 task forces would move quickly to seize Sicilian airfields and ports. Defending Sicily was the Italian 6th Army under General Alfredo Guzzoni. He had 200,000 Italian troops, plus 32,000 German ground troops and panzers, plus 30,000 Luftwaffe personnel.